signs out now in battle zone, but our saga still rings so clear and true. Adventures, new chords, all the brave souls, fun for all, let our fellowship join the crew. We are shielders and berserkers, living for the game, or feel the flame, sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long houses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. Together we rule the vast digital land, our camaraderie on quest after quest, pixels on allies and joysticks in hand. Join us if you dare along the path. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game, oh feel the flame, sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long houses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. In our hearts the echoes linger of battles won and legends planned. Write your name and be remembered. Join the saga, take a stand. We are shielders and berserkers, living for the game, oh feel the flame, sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long, in the fires of 97, we were forged, 98 was all those were the days we set sail digital seas full of the bubble. With the spirit of all we wrote our way. Our rune signs out now in battle zone, but our saga still rings so clear and true. Adventures, new chords, all the brave souls, fun for all, let our fellowship join the crew. We are shielders and berserkers, living for the game, oh feel the flame, sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long houses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. Together we rule the vast digital land, our camaraderie on quest after quest, pixels on allies and joysticks in hand. Join us if you dare along the path. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game, oh feel the flame, sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long houses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. In our hearts the echoes linger of battles won and legends planned. Write your name and be remembered. Join the saga, take a stand. We are shielders and berserkers, living for the game, oh feel the flame, sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long, in the fires of
Alright, hey folks, so this is an impromptu one, and has been born because I've had a few people asking me about the current event. A lot of people seem to be confused by it. Odin's in the background going to help me. I will warn you now, there are some kids at home from school next door, so you may hear them playing about outside. Now, I'm probably not going to get very far in this event because it is long and tedious. I'm going to admit to you right now, I am evented out on this game. They are throwing events that are so thick and fast to constantly make us spend money. Don't get me wrong, I know they're a business and they need to make money. But this is getting ridiculous. So, first of all, it's here for about 2 weeks, I think it's been. Beforehand to this event. It only went live for the rest of us today. Here, pay X amount to get early access to this event. So there's already a whole bunch of people with leveled up totems and stuff. You know, the people that just throw money at these games because they can. And then there's those of us who, like myself, are either free to play or on the low spend to medium spend end. of these games. I'm on low spend to none at the moment. Just because, you know, life is making it the case. So it's this event here, the rock festival thing. And it's about Lyra. So I've come over onto my main account. For those of you that don't know, I actually have 2 accounts. So there's this one and what was formerly my sister's account, which is FoxKitsune. I manage both accounts now because it just seemed a waste after she spent so much money on it. So I run both accounts. I spend most of my time on this account because this is me. And so I was doing the thing. I'm sorry, folks. I'm losing my words here. So you want to save these. And here's your picks packed. Personally, I still don't see much value for money, especially for the amount that you give to your guild. I mean, you're asking a lot for not a lot, basically. 180 quid in UK terms. Not really a whole lot. I'm sorry. But I do think these packs are overcharged. So you're gonna want to come here, go as far as you're willing to go. This is as far as I'm willing to go because I don't even have that much in my account right now. And collect what you can, you know, and collect what you want to collect, spend what you want to spend. It's all down to you whether or not you're going to be up to worth. So we're going to do the debut. Then we're going to do the toughness barrier. Now, this is where on my other account I've had to stop because this one is an absolute nuisance. We have come across some bugs already on it. Well, I say we. Odjn specifically has come across bugs on it to do with Fenris. Sorry, Fenris. Fafnir. The 2 bloody names confused. Fenris is the pet. Fafnir is the dragonkin hero that uses his blacksmithery as a weapon. Basically, he's causing battle errors. If I get that, I will show it. Because I do think, you know, that the devs need to know about it if they're going to be able to fix a problem. And this is actually where I have some beef with the game. Okay, there's a chip on my shoulder, and it involves these damn totems. Okay, since we've had light and dark added to the totem... He wants to call it totem port. To the totems in general, and to the titans in general. Totems are not dropping from the orbs anymore. It's ridiculous. This is one of the reasons I have stopped spending. I have had it up to the eyeballs with this. So it's here in Titan Valley. It's these. You're supposed to have a chance of getting one of these totems. I don't even need to tell you how many times I have bought gems specifically to buy the 100 rolls to try and get one of these totems. I have been playing this game a while now. And that's as far as I've got with my totem. Now, granted, I am being held back because we're not in gold, we're silver, and we're being held back by what we call gatekeeping teams. And these are teams specifically placed in by the gold teams to stop people progressing. I hate it. It's a low blow. It's BS, but it's a tactic. So I don't have to like it, but it is a tactic. Right. Didn't get very far in that today. Don't care. That's not what we're here for. Right. So, this. I was asked what heroes are best for this, so we're going to go into debut. It depends on your level, very much on your level. So here's how it works. You've got your quests you need to do here to pick up your picks. Do not spend your picks. I made that mistake already on one account. So here we are on my main account. Now, I was asked how it works. Now, I'm going to tell you straight off, the first heroes you want are these guys. So, Corvus and Morrigan. You want Astaroth. In fact, I'm just going to open this name. I will show you as we go through, but you level up, if you haven't worked it out already, you level up by buying their fragments out of this hero stall. So, we're going to start. These are the heroes you want. So, you've got to have her, because she's the thing the event's about. You want the twins here. Well, I think it's father and daughter, if I remember how this game set these two up. So, it's Corvus and Morrigan. You want Layla. You want Astaroth. And you want Yasmin. If you can get a pet, any pet, you want a pet. They don't turn up very often. So here we go. We're going to auto. As you can see, I don't even have the VIP thing right now. That's how minus figured my bank account is right now. I'm sorry, folks. But, I mean, we could sit here and watch it. But we have this. So we're going to do that. And it'll tell you whether or not you win here. Okay, so we've won. We get some things. What are they calling them? Stall coins. There we go. We get them. Go to your next battle. You'll go to the store. So, straight away, I've got 42. I can level up 2 of them. Now, honestly, this is getting on my nerves because I get the pairs a lot. We can level up her. So, we've leveled up her. So, she's now gone from 3 to 4. I would bother with that, but I don't want him. I'm not interested in him. Twins, I'll pin because we will do them later. But I'm ultimately looking for any solos versions because I don't want to waste money on Hildy either. By money, I mean the coins. So unless it is actually a pair, I already have a pair of, like these twins. Or, I'm going to call them twins. Even though they're not in game lore, but they're twins in what do you call it? Synergy. There we go. Synergy twins. Yasmin. Yes, we want Yasmin. We also want Layla, but Lyra. Words. They will come out. They will. I don't want that one. I want Yasmin on her own. And you just keep doing this until you get the ones you want and pin them. So that when you come up again, because you're not always going to have the points to get them straight away. There's an Astaroth. Seeing anyone else there. Right, so we're going to go and try again. So we've got this story here. I'll flick through slowly so you can read it. Quite honestly, I'm getting bored of these events. Really, really bored of these events. I would prefer they were voice acted if we're going to have to endure them. But I really, really, other than that X, want a skip function. It's all about the comic. So, yeah, there we go. And I should tell you, I can't see any chat. So if you are chatting in my chat, I can't see you. I don't have my headset on, so I won't hear the any things that you redeem. Should have turned them off for this stream, really, because we are dual casting. You know what? No, I can't be bothered. Right. So Oj's telling me he's doing tier 5. So yeah, you want to be leveling up your 5 main heroes. Forget about the others. So this is this battle again. Going to skip it, see if we win or lose. We'll probably win. We won. There we go. La 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 la. Can't be bothered with that. The next battle. Level up our heroes. Do we have enough to level up them? No, we do not. We do for Astaroth. So we're going to do Astaroth. We're going to skip. Skip again. And we're skipping again. And again. I'm not really seeing many that I would pin right now. Right. Okay then. So that it is absolutely horribly random, and that is going to cost you. Skip. Get on with it. Event takes long enough as it is. Skip. We won again, thankfully.
Also have 3 lives.
Yeah. These hearts represent your lives, as Odin's just said in the background. To strengthen your hero in the store, so it's pretty simple. I have enough to do. I think we'll pin that one and do that later. There's an Astaroth again, 33, so that'll have to wait. Lyra for 12. Right. Leave those alone. No, we don't have the coins, so no point. Yep. If it fluffs up, I at least get to show you where it's you can reset it. Astaroth done. Oregon done. That one next time. Now this guy here has got bugs in this, so I'm against him now. Ojin couldn't get past him earlier because what was happening is he was getting a timeout glitch. His health bar basically kept disappearing. I don't know if we'll get the same problem. Kind of wish I had the VIP because I would speed this up to +5. Sorry, also suffering acid reflux in the background here for make the horrible noises. A little worried that the overlay there isn't working. Moment to correct that while it does its fight thing. This is a bit off screen there, isn't it? Unfortunately, it leaves me this horrible black screen, but hopefully you can see it a bit better now. Jasmine's gone already, but she's not very leveled up to be. And if this does fluff up, I get to show you how to correct it. The problem is, like with everything in this game, it's all a bit too much potluck. Way too much potluck. I mean, I think they've done it as a sales gimmick, but the things in question are in-game earned anyway. And at the same time, all it's doing is going to frustrate players. Right, so far my Fafnir has not lost his health bar. Oh, there it goes, right. So yeah, Fafnir has a health bar that likes to disappear during this event. Now for Odjn, he kept getting a battle error, was it? Battle progression error whenever he beat Fafnir earlier. So he could not progress at all. He had to completely quit the game, clear his cache, come back, still had it, loaded it on a different browser, still had it. It was a bit... But then again, as I've often said, this game has a lot of strange glitches. Corvus there, there, there. Interest there. I mean, you might be seeing a lot of your favourite heroes here, folks, but the key in this one is to beat it at its own game, as opposed to with your favourite heroes. This is also around the area where the pets like to start appearing as well. Pets are an absolute game changer. I haven't had a lot for Jasmine. Yep. Used to win. Yep. Morgan and Core. Still nothing for Jasmine. Just because I don't want to waste coins leveling up a second hero I'm not going to use. I mean, the best part in this is that, the leveling up on the heroes here isn't affected by the level of your main heroes. So, for example, here, Aiden here is only level 80, for example. Out on my main window, he is well up into 130. He is actually one of my secondary teams that I am preparing for that Guild War Pet Adventures that I still have yet to deliver to you people. Skip. We took a loss. For your first loss, you will get coins, and we are talking each stage. So every time you go through these stages and you get one loss, you get some coins to spend on your hero. Look, we've got our first pet there. We'll grab that one away. pet there. Pets really are a game changer. In them. You only need to get the pet once. They come to you instantly maxed out for the grab coin. Try again now. You can see what I mean by pets are a game changer. So, for a pet to choose, pick Albus. Albus on him. We only have one Albus. One pet, I should say. Of course, we've only got one Albus. Skip the battle. And ta-da! Now we're on to the boss fight. Now, I can't skip the boss fight. Unfortunately, we're going to have to endure the slow-mo-ness of this. Again, going to pick up as many pets as we can grab. Oh, yes, please. We want Deku Sprout there. I'm sorry. I every time I see Oliver, I just see a Deku Sprout from Zelda.
$100.
Oh, I know. It's completely unbalanced. Whoever's designing these events is not thinking it through. Two asterisks. This is another thing that's driving me up the wall on this event, folks. Is you're getting double pairings of the same hero, but we're only allowed one.
Cars.
Up to 5th level. We've got to endure super slow mode. It ended up being a longer stream than I planned on. And if you can get these two, these are okay for probably the first half of the first level. But after that, no. And I've been through a lot of combos to find out what works this morning. So I've reset this a few times already on the other account. We have learned lessons. Still no luck, but we have pets. So, going to tell that to go away. Do this. Out that pet. Put him in. It. Give her Oliver. Just to prove to you, you cannot skip the boss fight. Retreat instead. My Yasmin. And I think I'm probably going to lose this. So I think you can lose the boss fight a fair few times, as opposed to the other fights where you get 3 lives. So boss fight you can keep doing until you get it right, or find a combo that works. But honestly, sometimes you're probably just going to want to reset just to get a better team combo, because it's all down to that luck in the store.
All down to what you get the right.
See, they don't pay out points for this bit. So we are going to try give Albus a go. Albus is one of my favourites anyway. Anyone that knows my teams know I play with Albus. Love his beam of death. I'm not quite sure how this is a rock concert though. It's more like a brawl or a purge. Okay, that's not good. Game has frozen up. This is what we're on about with glitches and stuff. Just told it to reload. It has a habit of freezing up, and there's all kinds of other glitches popping up in the game. So you've just seen that one where the game locks up, and then it will come up with battle error. No idea if we won or lost that. Yes, that is my lowest level teams you saw. Ago. Doing a bit better with Doggo. See? I personally don't think pets should be in the random drop. If they're going to come to you max, they should just be ready to go. On the grounds of it's overly randomized and that it's not helpful. I might try Corvus next run. They're both the same level. My healer was down, that pretty much fell out. Her out. At least if you're watching this on playback, you can put it to ×2 playback or whatever on the YouTube. Organ seems to be a little bit better for this one. We got rid of the one that was causing us trouble last time. Got to get rid of those twins now. Our healer, so that could be dangerous for us. Oh, there you go. So as you can see, it is good to have teams you can switch around. We did actually win. Blah, 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 blah. I really wish we could skip these annoying tutorials. Especially when you've done them a million times. I mean, seriously, I could come back in 10 minutes and it'll be running me through this ridiculous tutorial all over again. It is annoying. Very, very annoying. Anyway, can't be bothered to carry on with that for the minute. We're on to tough barriers. See what we get. Ugh. I don't touch these. We don't know what they are, so therefore waste of points. Immediately, I've got 2 off the bat there that I want. 2 there. Level up them already. In that, because now I've got those 2. In that one. I will think about them if they come up again. But yeah, do not waste your time with these question marks. You have no idea what you're going to get from them. And half the time it's heroes you're not going to use. Well, we're not going to waste any more of our points. Can't spend them even if we do. So, income with our first team. Not Astaroth, but only because he hasn't turned up. That should be a team that's able to manage. Yep. One. Level up. Leave it there. Okay, let's go. He's not like Astaroth is his shield. Puts on everybody, allowing everyone that chance to recover. That we've proven in the past. Astaroth with Deku, Sprout, Oliver can hold off pretty much anyone in the arenas. Just leave him in your defense as maxed up Astaroth with a maxed up Oliver, and no one's getting anywhere with him. Four of us there. Got him there. I think we'll pin the Yasmins and Jorgen. We're probably going to stick with this team because Astaroth doesn't look like he's going to turn up. Not a bad team. It won our last rounds for us. And Jorgen's pretty good in that he can suppress the team's abilities by stopping them from building up that stamina. And in this team, Corvus is our tank healer. So he's the healer of our group. Morrigan spams them with her little skeletons. Although the last time I did that, we got a lot of Rufus on this one, didn't we? Which is why we want Yasmin, because Rufus is our Yasmin is our anti-Rufus. Because if you don't kill him with a certain amount of certain type of damage, he's got to go down with physical damage. And of course, that's what Yasmin deals, but she also deals poison on top, so she's killing him with poison and she'll finish him off with physical damage so he can't get back up. probably max them up before I use all of those. Why am I doing that? It's 12. We don't want the Krista. Them. Pin her and him. Yeah, we're gonna have to pin him. And her. As we'll go. And we're gonna skip battle. And we've won. Next battle. I think we Jasmine and Jorgen again. Yep. And we got a defeat. But we still get the 90 coins, so it's not the end of the world. Drop another one on Yasmin and Jorgen. And yep. Lost again. I might get to show you how to reset it next. Now I got some coins for that one being. That's Jasmine and Jorgen maxed. And Jorgen now. Yeah. Fair turning up would be nice.
Anybody you pick up no doesn't like.
I think it's way too much potluck on the heroes. Way too much. Right, so we won this time. Biscuit. Oliver. Merlin. Axel. Albus. Oh, we don't have enough for Albus. Don't need any for him now. Got Fenris and Kane. Oh, next one. Our last life, so if we fail at this, I have to reset. Oliver there. Four pets. Who uses Merlin? We're going to skip because the battle, if we lose, it's going to have to reset. We won. Okay. Oh, look, he's turned up, but now he's too expensive. Pets. Oh, we 1. Didn't actually expect that. Okay. Again, none of the heroes I want. Continuing with the trends of none of the heroes I want. No point getting Aster off now because he will be so under-leveled for the job that it would be a waste of points. Like when you need some Morrigan, you don't get her. There's Thea. You know, so I don't lose her. Don't think we'll be able to use her that much. Yeah, by the time Morrigan shows up, we're not going to be able to afford her. Okay. If we win. Two roofs. Oh, jeez. This is what I mean, folks. They've got 2 of a particular hero where you only get 1.
How many?
Excuse me a moment. I can hear that playing in the background. Shut up. Right. Just because I'm trying to find a way of seeing my chat while I have the game up. Like we won. There. I can now see the game. And the chat. So I've managed to make it to stage 3. Now, I've had some questions about this. Where should they spend it on? I kind of spent on these 2 earlier, but there's where you actually need to spend it on. The ring. Now, I am going to come over here and pick up some picks because we're going to need them. Completed enough stuff here to get some picks. Then we're going to go back into the event. And we're going to level up the ring some more. So pile everything onto the ring. Stage 3, I needed a different team. It's the twins, isn't it? Aiden and Kayla.
3.
Yeah.
Dante.
Yes.
Orphan.
So my usual team, if I get them to come up.
Dante.
Oh, if Dante would like to show up, that would be
Dante
nice.
Arachne. Orphan. Four.
Helios and Orion.
Helios and Orion. Orphus. And yeah. Got to out damage
Only problem is
Dante.
Corvus and Yasmin. Well, Yasmin is turning up everywhere with the organ. Ah, there they are. Can just afford them. And we're going to pin them, because I'll get them in a minute.
Pin Orion and
See what comes up on the next round to see if there's anyone that needs pinning. No. Okay. So, I'm going to go in. We're going to make our team. So, no, let's kick everyone out. So we want Orion, Corvus, Yasmin. Do we want Helios? Can I kick her? I think we can kick Layla out, can't we?
kick.
As you can see, this event has been pretty much jumped on us in a very random, try and figure it out kind of way. I dislike app games where you have to go looking for strategy guides for the most basic concepts. It's insulting. They have. They keep jumping them on us, and then people keep saying, oh, well, you need to make this, this, and this. You need to have about 6 accounts just to learn what the events are. And I don't recommend having 6 accounts in the same kingdom server. Just, you know, just trying to manage 2 is annoying.
I'll just have pins.
Yep, there's Orion. It's 2 potluck. In other words, it's not reliably potluck. It's just, here, we're going to roll you some absolute Ossic rolls. For those that don't know, I speak Mandoa, so I try and use Mandoa in place of English for certain customers. Mandoa being the language of the actual Mandalorians pre-Disney. God knows what they've done to them with Disney. I mean, we had to pester them just to get them to do 1, 2, 3. Look, see, we did 3 words of Mandoa, counting. Great. Why can't we have actors research their roles? That would be better. Anyway, off topic. I'm going to get Arachne and Dante. Keep going till we find the ones we want. I mean, in all honesty, she's going to end up being a hero I don't use. They're great during the events, but after the events, they have no use. What's the point? And defeats. So we've got some more coins, but we got defeat. Right. Going to level up. Again. And we'll do those 2. Yep. Still defeated. Oh, that's affordable. We are going to be using those. Need them to turn up.
on.
Switch out our team. What are we? No, I think we'll leave them as is for the minute. And defeated. So we've lost all 3 hearts now. Just restart. Go back to here or to wherever it is you need to go. I've accidentally done that. No, we've done that. That's what I mean about this annoying thing. Switch. So you have to keep going through this annoying tutorial. Why? You've already made us go through this once. Why do we have to keep going through it now? Throw her in for now. Need to pass the first battle. Got Judge. Dante. Feet. Back to the shop. Morgan out. We'll put Helios back in. Still defeat. I really don't like that this is as random as it is. Arachne. Still defeat. So we're off to all this stuff, so we're going to go get some extra bits. More picks. Me not caring about an overpriced battle pass. In. Him. And him. Right, start. Skip. And here we go with the defeats again. And still a defeat. So it looks like I'm probably not going to progress just because of luck. Yep. This gets very frustrating, so I'm probably not going to be able to get up to 5th level like Odjn's managed.
Okay.
I mean, this is getting...
Not getting any luck on this.
I'm going to try my other... go. Really bad pot luck. Heroes appearing. Yeah, Odin's having even worse over on level 5.
Can't get any tanks at all.
He's not getting any tanks appearing at all. I do think you should be able to spin what class you want. Lars and Chris. I don't have any hate for Lars and Chris, I just don't want them at the moment. Aster off there. Saw it just as I hit the refresh. Right then, go again. So, off now. Auto it, skip. And we lost. Chat's popping up now. What happens when you don't want specific heroes, folks? Like, it's avoiding, like Odin was saying, the ones that you actually pick. If I fail again, I'm not really going to carry on much with this, because it gets a bit boring. It's down to potluck of what heroes you break this. So we've got Judge there. So changed heroes again. So you've got your main enemy, which is the one shown. And then the teams that are with it are changing. So match your team synergies to be the anti whatever heroes it has presented. So just like it would be out if you were out in PvP, where you would match your teams against whoever's against you. I'm not going to keep doing it for now, mostly because I don't actually have a lot of time today. And this nonsense is making me stay on this game longer than I should, really. I haven't even finished my dailies. I don't have the time. So he's stuck at 5. So Triat is one of our bouncing members. I call him bouncing because he jumps from guild to guild to guild. Now, I'm pretty much a laid-back guild leader. I don't mind people jumping from guild to guild and building a community with other players. Most of us guild leaders talk to each other anyway. But he was one of the reasons I was like, he was asking me for help. There were others asking me for help. And I was like, right, you know what? I'm going to try and show what's going on. It's not complicated. So obviously you've got item required there. So where it's saying item required, remember, focus on the rings. I'm hoping to get to final silence. What I will do is when I actually get past this is I might stream again tomorrow or something and see where we get from there. And it's all because this is one of the few places, one of the very few places where you might actually get a fragment for your totems. And I absolutely hate that these have basically been tied to events. We can't get them out of the Titan orbs, but they seem to drop reliably on events. And it is getting absolutely ridiculous because there's a lot of us that cannot progress in the guild wars because we don't have these damn totems. These totems are supposed to be a 1 in 100 chance of dropping, and they're more like a 1 in 1 trillion chance at the moment. It is just ridiculous. So this is my biggest pet peeve on this game outside of glitches. And if I meet the guy that makes this, I will slap him with a rubber wet kipper. You know, something doesn't hurt but gets the point across. So, yeah, I don't mean that literally, folks. So, you know, I would actually use my words to do it. So, she's another hero, but I'm just not going to use outside of this event. I probably won't even use her that much in the event either, for that matter. I have so many heroes I just do not use. She's going to be one of them. Of course, I'm going to level her up for the event because stuff. But I'll just come down here. We've got so many heroes that most of them, I mean, I do intend to get around to Orion. I just have so many of these heroes. There's the turtles from the last event. I maxed them up to 130 because that's what the event wanted me to do. Wow. I've got Polaris. Don't use her. Fenrir. Sorry, Fafnir. Don't use him. Iris. Don't use her. There's other heroes that I've gathered out of the other bits and pieces that you do here. Don't use them. I mean, I will probably eventually max them all up. And for those that do wonder, so here we are. These are my lowest teams. Everyone's all like, oh, why have you got such rubbish teams in here? Don't you know how to refresh them? Yes. Yes, I do. I saved them for this bit. The reason we leave them to low points is we get a lot of daily events that demand that we pass a certain level of hero types in these events. So you've got to beat like 5 tanks or some nonsense like that in the arenas. So I put my lowest heroes based on whatever that challenge is, so that others in our server can just come along and go, yeah, I'm gonna go and beat your team now. I don't even care if I win or lose in this thing. Everyone's so obsessed with their positioning. And then there's me. How much I don't care. See, defense failed. Oh, look, I failed against Wolf Warriors yesterday. Wow. I just don't care. Even my own guild are fair game in here, and I'm fair game to them. So, yeah. I just do not care. This game, over the last 6 months or so, has been making me care about it less and less and less. Even more so with all these flash sales that most of us can't even get anything out of. They're overpriced in most cases. And don't me even get started on this nonsense. You want flags? You've got to go through this stupid labyrinth. Yeah, no. Can't be asked.
I'm about to spend.
Odin is about to spend 10,000 diamonds on his Titan orbs. Unfortunately, I would have to get him to get his OBS up, then get Restream up, and then get him to, you know, come up and show you what's going on with these Titan orbs. Now, I just find it ridiculous. So we're supposed to get a 1 in 100 chance of any of these.
Plus 100.
Right? I don't quite have enough yet. I'm not buying any of these because I don't have any money in my account right now. But I can assure you that over the past... How many years have I been playing this? So I joined in 2021. In that time, I have gotten that much of a totem. 2025, so it's 4 years. Been playing this 4 years, and that's my totem. And it is leveled up purely on events. Purely on events. And me spending actual, you know, diamonds on it, because I'm not going to sit jumping from team to team to team to team. My guild need a stable guild leader, so my main account will remain the stable guild leader. And my other accounts might jump to other guilds. Account. God, plural. Account. Might jump to other things. I've got other people. I'm not going to show you our things. So, yeah. As you can see, we have our guild site here in our guild note. I tell our people who our teams are going to be from week to week. I literally, if any of you are in our server and you join our guild, but you want to join a different guild, all we've ever asked is, we get that, you want to grow, and the only way to grow is to go from the silver guild into one of the gold guilds. We do have alliances with some of the gold guilds. Not all of them are terrible in our server. There's only like 1 or 2 that are, and most of those are quitting slowly. So our server is improving. We're getting less and less gatekeepy types. But I think it's easier for me to go into Guild War and find out. So these are our gold teams. Vanguardians have recently poached a couple of ours. That's fine. Vanguardians are a pretty good team. Huren are our local Chinese, or I should really say South Asian group, because they consist of more than Chinese players. There's also Japanese players in there. 44 Capra, I don't know, which is basically dragon. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I do not speak Russian. Their leader's pretty chilled and laid back. Rebels and Ghouls, I am glad to see them in gold because they were struggling for quite a while. Ninja Warriors, we have an on-off relationship with them. They have a tendency to keep poaching our best players and then saying that I said so. They're supposed to approach me first to say who they're prospecting. And it's only because we've got a number of people in our guild who don't speak English and don't DM me when I ask them to. So I'm not generally angry at them poaching. It's part of the game. Lazy Bums is their guild leader. And, he's pretty chill. He's an alright guy too. There's only a couple of people in here that have been poached out that I am pretty angry at in terms of them having left our guild. It's in the manner of how they left our guild that remains the problem. It's not that they left, it's the how they left that is the problem. So, as you may notice, you've got your guild war. This is why I have issues. So you have to plan your defense. Too many of them quit quietly. Now, there's some days where I can only sign on once a day. And it's the same with most of my guild. Most of us have work life or other real life issues in the background. And all I really want people to do, so I'm stressing this now, this is to my guild mates out there, or prospective guildmates. We have a rule in our clan where if you need to be away, or you're leaving the guild, or you're quitting the game, DM me. You don't need to give me the reason. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. You just need to tell me the whens. So if you're going to be away, how long are you going to be away from are you estimated to be away from? This is so I can turn our auto kick off mainly. So that applies to everyone in our guild. If you're going to be away for a period of time over a week, tell me. I need to know so that I can turn the auto kick off and let you stay in the guild. Whereas if you're going to quit the guild, tell me, especially if you're in a guild war, so that we can avoid gaps in our guild war and I can fill it up with someone else. That's literally all I'm asking. I mean, I'm not asking you to be loyal to us. There are a few that are, and thank you to those of us that stayed with me from the beginning. But if you are going to leave a guild, be it to go and grow for some gold coins, because Ninja Warriors do help with that. This is where I absolutely adore Lazy Bums. He does try to grow our guild. Sire, from Cursed of Souls, is another one. Huren are willing to help our guys grow as well, because obviously we want genuine guilds in the top. And I'm not saying that the 5 in gold currently are not genuine. They are. But we have had in our server, unfortunately, a history of bots coming in. I dare say other servers have too, honestly. I'm not saying it's our server alone. So we have had a history where bots have come in. I mean, they literally appear here one day, and by the end of week 2, they're here. Week 3, they're here. Constantly coming in. It's like they come in instantly max leveled everything. Their accounts are max leveled everything. They haven't come in from another server in most cases. They have literally come in. And you can tell when they are bots. Now, I'm sorry, Refugee. I'm not picking on you. You were just under my mouse. You can generally tell when they're bots. Now, these guys are not bots. I'm not implying that they are. This will be... These 3 things will be a uniform number all the way down. Now, as you can see, definitely not bots. Okay? You've got people with 0 here. people with different numbers here. Bot teams tend to be uniform all across the board. So it'll be a uniform exact number on all 3 of those, all the way down. We might even have some bots. So let's go have a look in. It won't be Gold League. Silver League might have a couple. Oh, we don't. Wow, we don't, for a change. And of course, this is how I'm saying to you, if you do move to our server, you've got a very good chance of climbing the ladder here at the moment. Because as you can see, we've got a lot of old guilds that really should have been disbanded because they've got no activity in them at all. None. A lot of these guilds have sat quietly for months now. So we're getting into the Silver League. Alright. I am aware that it is Monday and this won't be changed until the end of the day. But down here in the qualifying bronze, we've got these. A lot of these will stay uniform 0 all the way through because they won't have any activity. They won't do anything. Especially down here in the qualifiers. In fact, our qualifying leagues are just full of dead weight. There's no real guild down here. It consists of one person, for example, that's pulling in a load of activity. And they've done this. This is, you know, a lot of these will be alt accounts. Nikom, for example, he's actually one of our old guys. But as you can see here, activity in 7 days, nothing. This is a pretty common theme. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here to show you again. One guy. One guy. All the way up to the top of bronze. Some people. But they've been struggling to get into silver. There you go. So you can see, right, and again, you know, we've got what we call dead weight players. These are players that have disappeared, but we can't afford to kick them out of our guilds in a lot of cases. I can, I prune regularly. But it's got to a point where people are they're probably as burnt out on this as I am. Where we're just being flooded with event after event after event after event, held back and held back and held back and held back. And in some servers, there is that toxic. I mean, our server wasn't any different in the earlier days. It definitely had it. In that we had this toxic thing where some guilds would come into your guild. They would make purposeful alt accounts, come into your guilds, and then purposefully split everybody up, get everyone arguing, cause friction for no reason other than to break your guild. And we did have those. And then there's the ones that poach by telling lies. We had a player here called Basil. Sorry, I'm going to name him because he was a pain in my behind. Our first 6 months in the server, everyone was new to the server at the time. And we had one player, he was our whale, our team's whale. He'd come in from another server, and he was basically my vice guild leader. And because of the messaging system in this is such a mess, we still don't have it even now. I mean, we have guild battles. Do we even need that here in messages? That should be its own tab. Clash of Worlds, what's the point? Nobody uses it. Private messages, yes. Combat training, why? Guild recruitment, what's the point? Nobody looks there. So we've got server chat where we talk. Right? We talk a bit. Nobody has issues with each other here. We chat. I don't know why we don't have a translate. That would be helpful considering this game is multi-continental and multi-country. Multinational, that's the word I'm looking for. It is multinational. We play with people of all sorts of languages. A translate is a must. Even if you've got to find some way of using the not so fantastic Google Translate somehow. Games like this need a translator so we can all communicate with each other, even if we're not in the same team. Guild chat. Yep, okay. We might check that once a month. Guild battles should be its tab. Clash of Worlds should be its own tab. In fact, if we were going to do this, where is Pet Adventures? We might as well have Pet Adventures active here when we're in a Pet Adventure. So what we actually need is a guild officers and generals chat, so that our teams, you know, our generals and our officers can be on the same page with the guild leader, rather than us have to keep sending private messages one at a time. So this is another thing, and thank you Explosy in the early days for teaching me this, is in here, chat messages. One of the things I have to now teach a lot of our newbie people is how to turn the chats off. So chat and gameplay messages. Right, I allow all because I'm a guild leader. But if you don't want to be getting those annoying poaching messages, switch it to guildmates. Do not switch it to nobody, because your guild leader might need to talk to you, because this game can't be bothered to give you a proper chat for that, aside from guild chat. But when you need to talk to your officers, we don't have an officer chat. It's ridiculous. I have it to the maximum size because I can get this to load up on my phone. Receive all notifications, yes, because I don't mind it pinging me. I spend most of my time turning all this off. So yeah, you can do this. It's also where you turn your sounds off. It's all here. So yeah, I don't recommend that you turn all messages off, because if you do turn all messages off, if there's something a guild leader needs to talk to you directly about without naming and shaming you in here, or in here, in these two chats, don't turn your private messages off. Just turn it to guildmates and keep them out of your way. Samurai Eeyore, I need to get him back into the guild, if he's still there. Lazy Bums. Oh yes, this is the other thing. That's one of the people that joined our clan and kind of did stuff, but also didn't do stuff at the same time, if that makes sense. He just left out of nowhere. Oh, I went to grow. I was like, well, you were in the guild war. You kind of needed to let me know. I mean, we're not asking a whole lot. We're not saying that you should stay in the guild, but we are asking for communication. So I do have a page on this, so I don't know if it'll do it. Well, probably would. So a guild chat. I just click on that and it takes you out. You just go to our hero wall stuff, and the first thing it loads is the guild rules. Our guild rules, our number one thing is communication. So communication and teamwork. So in our guild, you have to work as a team, and we're mainly talking about the team play events in this. So I'll just go up to guild because they're all up here. Is this and this. These two are the team events. You need to be talking to each other about this. The paths, when I go into the adventures, you have your own little mini chat within the pet adventure. Make sure you're talking to your team and reading your team instructions. Triet, you've been pretty terrible for this. Sorry to name and shame you, kid. Or kiddo, as I call everyone kid regardless of age, just so you know. Yeah. Crossed, I believe, Hellspawn this week. Where is Hellspawn? Or is it Chaos We Are? Chaos We Are. So Chaos We Are is another one that communicates in that little mini chat. They will get the thing from here. They'll go here. Takes you to our link tree. Here's our Hero Wars guild. So this is literally everything to do with our Hero Wars right here. We have a very specific website. Here. Guild rules is its first thing. Teamwork. Teaching you how there. No asking personal questions. We ask that people don't ask personal questions about people. It's not that we don't want people getting to know each other. It's that, there are minors playing this game, so it's for everybody's safety. I don't want anyone discriminating on race, sex, bullying, harassment, anything. Nothing. I don't put up with it. Obviously, we like to be a fun and welcoming place, so we are pretty laid back. Communication is required for being away. Number 5, rule 5, right there. Okay, I've tried to lay this out as clearly as possible so it translates if you put it in Google Translate. PM, the leader. So PM, private message, because normally we call them DMs, direct message. Either way, same thing. Right? If you can't be online or post up in the Discord for a way forum, I mean, we have a Discord. Okay? You can go there. Tell us there. DM the guild leader, me. I'm not going to bite your head off for being away. Oh, so you got 400 Titan artifacts. Yay. But still nothing on the totem. Nothing. So he's done 4 of those coin things. The 100 spins. Nothing. Right. So it's like, I've given examples here. You know, you have a crazy life schedule, i.e. work, rotas, sort of thing. The guild leader will add you to an away list. I have an away list on our Discord that I've named people who are away or need leeway. Leeway is where, you know, you have a crazy life schedule like me, and you might not be able to attend the guild war within its specific time, for example. Hellspawn has issue with this quite a bit. Because life is crazy. You know, real life has got to come first. We understand this. So this is why we are as laid back as a guild as we are. So basically, you know, just tell me if you're going to be away or if you're going to leave. You don't have to tell me why. I just need to know whens and whens. Basically, yes, whens and whens. Just so I can make either put you on the list, say, hey, you're away, so I know that you're going to be away. And everyone has access in the guild to that away list, so we know who's away, so we know who not to bother. And at the same time, if you're in guild war, I can replace you in the guild war. It's that is all we're asking, is so that for the team play events, our bases are covered. If you want to go join another guild, go join another guild. That's fine. That's completely fine. We're not trying to say we own you. If you have real life events, but you don't want to say about it, that's fine. I just say all I need to know is dates. So if you're going on holiday on May the 1st and you're coming back, I don't know, let's say August the 1st. Okay? Just random dates. I just need to know the whens, so that I know how long that you're going to be away if you're one of our key players, especially. And this allows me to say to people, right, that person's not going to do their attacks, but we're keeping them for defense if they have a good defense team. Or I can rotate you out with someone else that wants in. So it lets me chop and change the teams on a way that's a balanced way. I'm not asking more than that. I just want to know the whens. Or to say goodbye. We're not asking you to be exclusively Lonewolf Clan. We're asking you to be a team player and communicate. That is it. One of the things that did annoy us in our early days was other guild spies. As I told you earlier, they were coming into the guild to sow discord and cause guilds to collapse by causing infighting. And I got ahead of that pretty quick. Most of them didn't even bother to name their teams. They just kept the team and the random numbers you were originally assigned with. So we started a rule about get a name. So, you know, we're asking you to get a legitimate nickname. Guild house cleaning. Basically, we get rid of space blockers, which are people that just come to join a guild purposefully and then sit there inactively on purpose. Again, part of that whole spy problem. They come in, they don't do anything. They might sign on to keep them out of the being kicked automatically time, but they won't do more than that. And they're annoying. So we tend to kick them over time. But I mean, we've even got a Discord rules here. The Discord rules are pretty much a watered down version of this incredibly long version of our guild rules. The guild rules are really just rules that any guild lives by. They're usually unwritten, frankly. So if you're in a guild, you're supposed to work as a team. You're supposed to look out for each other. So that's why we don't have personal questions. I mean, there's all kinds of problems as to why you don't want to be asking personal details. You shouldn't be having any discrimination of any kind. And I don't care if you're involved in a war. Now we're going to take the most prominent one because it's in the media all the time, that the war with the Ukraine and Russia. Okay. You want to pick a side with that? Fine. Just don't bring it to the game. We have Russian players. We have Ukrainian players. All we ask is you play the damn game. Keep real life politics out. This is supposed to be your one safe space, your one escape. So, I mean, when I say we, I am talking in game, not in our team at the moment. In our team, we're mostly English players, except for one Taiwanese player and a couple of Spanish players at the moment. But still, you know, keep the game friendly. You don't need to bring real life OSIC into a game. The game is your one safe haven. Keep it that way. And these two kind of interlink, really. I've just split them up as a rule. Communication is required. I mean, you're playing as a team, so it's really kind of part of team of rule 1, being a team player. Get a name. Make sure people have got a nickname to call you by. Make sure that we know that you're invested in the game and you're not some bot or spy. And guild house cleaning. Players who are here to waste time, block space, or deliberate sabotage, I will just kick you. I have no time for toxic players. You will be kicked. That's pretty much all it comes down to. So I hope that clears it out with the guild. I mean, we're pretty laid back. We don't necessarily live by these rules as if, you know, they're the only rule in the universe. We are fairly laid back. I mean, we do have rules revolving around our pet adventures where you need to work as a team, but even my best players and my most long-standing players will fail at this. Looking at you, Hellspawn and Chaos. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They were playing with me when we floofed up. We can all do it. At the end of the day, we're human. So remember to treat everyone else as human on the other end of that screen as well. I mean, I know it's difficult. You can't see them every day. To you, they're just a name on the screen. But remember that behind that name and behind that screen, there is a human being who is not infallible. They'll have flaws. There's going to be problems. Try to do everything you can to communicate with them. It might be that they speak another language. And if that's the case, try and find out what languages everyone speaks in your teams. And use Google Translate. It's bad form that this game does not have a translator, considering it's multinational. But there is you can copy what someone has said by using this speech bubble. You just copy the message and take it out to Google Translate. And people will often see me doing that for people I know in the team that don't speak English. I mean, just come in and just say, "Do you speak my language?" Just say that in your language. "Do you speak my language?" And I've had German players, I've had Chinese players, I've had Spanish players, I've had Japanese players. No, Japanese I don't even need translator for. But still, you know, just drop by, communicate with your teams, make it a fun place to be, because at the end of the day, the gameplay in this game gets seriously damn stale. As you can tell, I'm not one of the bought-off content creators on this, folks. I'm not. And I have no interest of being after reading what they want as an official content creator. 50% of my streams and videos have to be this, but it has to be a minimum of 2 a month. And what they're really saying is half your content has to be this. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. So I'm not bought off. I'm telling you this as a player to player who is critical of games, because I have a zero tolerance of BS, I'm afraid, folks. My tolerance of BS has gone down over the years. And with the rise of app games, that tolerance has gotten lower because more and more BS happens. Now, I am still not telling you that this game is bad. It's not. It's a great time waster. It's a good way to make friends. There's lots of positives in the game to be had, but it is not the gameplay after a while. It's fine for the first year because you're learning it. Then after that, it's same old, same old, same old, same old, same old every day. So daily quests. This is where you're going to spend 99% of your time. To complete these quests, maybe if you can be bothered. And then there's these quests. Now, I've had a few people in my guild going, "Oh, I can't be bothered to do the guild quest. It's just making us spend resources we don't have." Sorry, it's my terrible accent of quoting you for word there as you typed it out. No, they don't. These are linked to your dailies, okay? Just do your dailies, and these will complete themselves, okay? It's not about you losing resources to do those. You actually gain resources from doing those. Events, on the other hand, do deplete your resources, and it's annoying. I am not going to spend money to regain my resources. I'm sorry. If I don't think an event's going to give me anything, I'm not going to bother with it. I've seen Gold League members say the same thing. "Oh, I'm not going to get anything out of this event, so I'm not going to bother with it." That is where we are at. Most of us in this server have been playing 4 to 5 years in this server. Some may have been playing even longer if they've come from other servers. The problem is the gameplay itself. And Honestly, I'm going to say that this current graphics, this pink and purple, is making me feel bleh. I don't like pink in general, but this is bleh. This is supposed to be a rock concert. Why have you made it look like a rave? So, yeah. There's only so much you can get, folks. With this is why I was going to do a week. Sorry, was it a monthly app game stream on a Saturday? But with the way the events have been running in this particular one for Hero Wars, that's not going to be the case, because there's only so much I can cover that hasn't been covered already. And this event is the only one that's not really had any coverage, and it's not complicated. It's just stupidly random. Why? Because they want you to buy more of these, and I don't mean obtain. I mean buy. So £14 is the lowest, but not a whole lot. And with how randomized it is, you're going to end up spending millions in money. If you don't have that money, you're not going to spend it. So I'm kind of anti these events at the moment because they're coming out too thick and fast, and they're not coming out fairly or in a balanced way. The game is losing its balance now. So yeah, I do think the game owners and developers need to have a look at what's going on with this game, because I do know the population is dropping. I don't know if I'll be on here till the game ends. Maybe I will be, maybe I won't be. And it's one of the reasons I've built a community outside of the game. I learned this a long time ago. If you want lasting friendships, you have to come out of the game and join other social medias. So Lonewolf Clan has its link tree. Check out our link tree. It shouts itself enough in the chat, usually. Although I will just add it in now. It should come up in both YouTube and Discord. So if you're in the streams, you just type in !clan and Botrix should yell up the links. And, or Restream. Restream will do it. But yeah, Restream then shouts it out across Botrix. So it's come up in Twitch, but not in YouTube. In YouTube, I will post it in the description below after this has been post live. That is where you go to everything. So that particular link tree, which is at the top of our guild chat, coincidentally, it takes you to everything Lonewolf Clan, including the hosts of the streams. So do check out all of our links in there. It also does the charity. I've got a charity QR code stuck on the screen. This takes you to our charity link tree, which is also attached in our main link tree. The reason we separated the charities is so we could cover more charities and not have it completely flood out our link trees. It will take you to that. So if you scan the QR code or if you follow it from the link tree, you can donate to any of the random charities we're supporting, be them on Tiltiffy. Some of them are directly to the root source of the charities, some of them to other fundraisers. And of course, if you're watching us on Twitch, you will see a donate to charity button in place of the subscribe button. So please do consider donating to charities. And just remember, I am not bought out by these game companies. I can safely tell you Ubisoft has been trying. And I can safely say, no matter how many thousands they've offered, I've told them where to stick it. So I am not easily bought out. I put principles above everything else. So when it comes to these games, I'm going to tell you what I think as raw as I think it. I'm not going to sit there and sing praises. I mean, again, this might sound like I'm ossicking on the game, and that's not the correct grammarization of my Mandoa there. That's me adding English into the Mandoa. I am not going to ossic all over a game, but I will be critical of it. And you will see that I'm like this with other games as well. So it's not just limited to Hero Wars. I do genuine reviews based on my experience of it. I ask other reviewers to do the same, because I've seen a rise in what I would call paid reviewers, where they're paid to say good things, even if they haven't actually played the damn game. So I'm not going to be like that. I refuse to be like that. I'm going to tell you what I think based on what I've experienced and what I think you need to be on the watch for. But that doesn't mean that these games that I have been critical of don't have good points. They do. For example, Sengoku. Okay. I think we've ossicked on that a lot. And, yeah. You know, we've been very critical of it, but mostly of the bugs. But that's not to say it's a bad game. It's quite a fun indie game. Medieval Dynasties is another one. Conan is another one. If I think I am going to have a really rough time with games. You just have to look at how I've turned with Bethesda. I've pretty much, as much as I enjoyed Skyrim, I have always stated that it was lazy in its coding. And there was Thief. I actually broke that into a double review to try and be fair on it. So I did it as a thief from the Thief IP, and how you would actually be disappointed in it, because there was nothing about it that was of the Thief IP. But as its own standalone game, if you weren't expecting much and just wanted a time waster for 20 minutes, it was fine. If it hadn't have been part of the Thief IP, the game could have done better. But they tried to make it the Thief IP, which is about Garrett. So you're running around in this steampunky, gothic, grimdark era where he's basically a thief. And he's a keeper who's walked away, but he's not been corrupted like the other keepers, blah, blah, blah. And over time, there's this really fantastic twisting story, which this fourth game that they put in, where it's supposed to be about him and his apprentice Aaron, they've royally fluffed it up. They somehow out of it made Garrett a drug addict on opium, which he never was. And the story of Aaron has changed from her, because the whole thing, you find out, is a paradox caused by the glyphs in the original story. So it starts off with, you've got the keeper and you've got the watcher and you've got the super keeper. Garrett is the super keeper. The watcher was Aaron. So it was supposed to be that she saves everybody by turning back time. She then becomes the tree nymph Victoria. So there's this whole thing that goes full circle. But they fluffed it up. They royally fluffed it up. And I don't even know what they were trying to do in that Thief. And I tried to be fair. I was highly critical of it. And then as its own game, I was like, you know what? It's an okay. It sits in that okay sort of zone. There's a Thief game, it sucked. So I'm like that with games. I will play them. I will experience everything the game has to experience. And then I will write reviews based on my experience of the game. If the game devs want help, I'm happy to test new stuff for them. And I'm not asking to be paid as a game tester, but I'm also refusing to do things like what they call early access, where you pay to be a game tester. No. Just no. I'm not going to encourage laziness. And I'm not saying that all companies that use the early access system are, but there are a lot out there that are abusing it, and I want nothing to do with that. I find it disgusting, label, and scammy, quite frankly, and everyone knows what I think of scammers. So, do think about that, folks, because there's a difference between the AAA companies using the early access, which is nothing more than, here, we're going to pretend you're paying for the privilege of playing this game early. When what it really is they're using you as beta testers and charging you for doing the work. That's just wrong. It's exploitive and scammy. Whereas indie developers, for the most part, there are still scammers out there, will ask you for actual feedback, and they're not asking you to be a suck-up. There's nothing worse on these games than sycophants. Sycophants ruin games because they're too busy sucking up and only singing praises, to the point that the bugs get left unresolved. The problems get left unresolved. This helps nobody. The game then ends up dying because the bugs make the game unplayable over time, for example. And that's starting to happen. And the reason I am talking about this is it is starting to happen to Hero Wars. We have got so many bugs in this game, it's making parts of the game unplayable. This latest event, for example, which has driven me up the wall with its stupid randomization BS, has got bugs. You saw it lock up on me earlier. That's bugs. Odjn was having bits where it was having battle log errors. Bugs. Guild War, for example, and we have experienced a few in the last couple of weeks, and we know they're bugs because I know the players very well that we've been against. Where some of us who have teams, and I'm talking about the teams being really, really well built. Now, mine aren't fantastic. Seriously. Do they look fantastic to you? They don't look fantastic to me, but they were better built than our enemy players. So we had a team. I'm probably going to have to go into leagues. No, it's logs, isn't it? Logs. Last week, where did we do really badly? Wasn't Refugeeum. Refugee have their share of bugs. Yeah, here we are. AT. Alright. And this is the other thing that's annoying me with these bugs, is these playbacks don't always represent the battle that's shown. Now, it's telling me that the ones we did, here we are, FoxKitsune against the Whisper. That's their team. That's my team. My team, all these guys have maxed glyphs and everything else, mostly. Except for these two, maybe. I'm going to skip the battle. But it came up that I did 0 points. I did some points. I didn't expect to win because they had counter heroes to my heroes. I'm not saying that they're cheating. But it did come up with 0 points when I finished it. Now, you saw there on the thing, it actually said I had some points. So on the replay bit, it can sometimes say you have points or you can have 0 points. The day itself, it was saying 0 points. Today, it says points. But that's cost us in the run to the league. And it's enough to drive you nuts. And I know it was a bug, because like I said, I know a lot of these players very well. They've either been in my guild or we've built them up when we were in silver and they were in bronze or lower. They came into our guild and got, you know, the badges for the totems and so on. And we do encourage that because it's nice to have actual real players to play against. Here's my Astaroth. The only thing he hasn't really been leveled up on is this. Skins. Still got to do these 2 skins. But, see, max level skins. He is one of my favourite tanks. I'm not going to lie. These take forever because the drops just... ugh. His sparks are maxed. His glyphs are maxed. There was no reason he should have lost in the fight. He should have been one of the last ones standing, especially, you know, given stuff. But he fell pretty quickly in that fight. So there are glitches, and it did come up that there was... I can't remember the name of the error, but it basically said that there was an error at the end of the battle, and we had 0 points. So we know it was a bug. I'm not accusing the other player of cheating, but I am saying that this game has bugs. And if anyone tells you that these app games cannot be hacked, they're lying. They can. And I do think that's where some of the bugs are coming from, is the gradual corruption of the game files. So I do think these games, rather than keep focusing on these stupid events for at least a month, could the game devs please stop and look at some of the damn bugs and fix them, please? These events after events after events, especially with these constant flash sales, are burning out. So can we, you know, have a break from the events for a little bit at least? I'm not saying forever, just a break, like 2 weeks or something. Or better yet, 1 month. That's 4 weeks. Have a break. Focus on the bugs. Let us build our teams. And stop. You know, I mean, I know you've got to make money. I'm not trying to say you don't. But can we get the game back into a working order that's fun? Because at the moment, it's becoming a monotony. Monotony. And players are quitting en masse. And on top of that, we've got these game-breaking bugs, which is also infuriating players and making them quit. The game has become unbalanced, and it needs some major TLC. And again, I'm not trying to say the game's bad. I'm saying the game needs some TLC. TLC means tender, loving care. Please give it the love it needs. Okay? I'm not talking to the players there. That is to the devs. Players, you need to make bonds of friendships with each other, because that is honestly the best part about this game, is the community. For the most part, there is, of course, the toxic trash that we get in every game, but the community is possibly one of the better things I have found in this game. That includes on their Discord. I don't speak in their Discord very often, but their community and their mods, from my experience, have been absolutely brilliant. So, you know, make some friends, folks. Join other game servers with these friends. Make other game servers and become a small gaming group and play other games with these friends. Because ultimately, what keeps you coming back to this game is your friends that you make in the game, even if they're not in your guild. And for example, private messages. Sire of Souls is the leader of a different guild, entirely different guild. In fact, here he is, Cursed of Souls. He is a major thorn in my side, but we joust words with each other about trampling into each other's citadels. I mean, we know he'll win. He made it to gold. We haven't been out of silver for nearly a year and a half now. So, you know, make friends. Make friends with other guild leaders, with other guilds, because ultimately the community is the biggest and best part of this game. And game devs, get the damn translator in the damn chat, please, so that, you know, that becomes an even better community. Okay, so that's my impromptu stream of the day. That should have at least brought up a couple of hours onto the Lonewolf clan on top, and hopefully cleared up this stupid event. I'm sorry, I hate this event. If I could buy boots in D&D style of plus 10 to hating this event, I would buy boots of plus 20. So I absolutely despise this event. It's annoying, it's time wasting, it's too randomized. But it's not complicated. It is simple. It's just annoying. Really, really annoying. And I hate it. I'm not going to mince words there. I hate it. And that's between all the other events they keep throwing at us. And I'm just done with so many of these events. I don't even bother with is it the Brawl? That one where you basically fight other players to gain coins. Can't be bothered. I will put a defense team in and then I'll ignore it. And I put the defense team in for the people that can be bothered. I just cannot be bothered with Brawl at all. And then they're like, oh, you've got multiple accounts. Don't be taking advantage of Brawl. I can't be bothered. Don't be telling me I'm taking advantage of Brawl. I'm just ignoring it. I don't bother with it. And then it's the Christmas events. Oh, we noticed you've got more than one account sending gifts yet to everyone else. I do not send... That is one thing you can ask in my guild. Come straight in and ask them. I will make sure everyone else in my guild has gifts before I do. And I am talking these. We've actually got to the point now where I throw out these gifts every Sunday. So depending on how many of these gifts I get to give out on Sunday will depend on how many numbers you will see here. And currently, I make sure everyone gets a minimum of one. If I can't have everybody in the guild with one gift, without a legitimate reason, like if they urgently need the orbs or some coins. So it's these two things we really go for. If they urgently need these things, then all they have to do is ask and I'll send them a couple their way or something. But for the overall thing... Oh, somebody's back in the guild. Welcome back, Jade. No, I just said that sarcastically. Jade's been out growing. So welcome back, Jade. So basically, as you can see, now there was a time where I would be dishing these out every day. And I would be looking for my own names. So there's my other account. And I would be avoiding giving them. And I would do the same to Odjn as well. So basically, me and Odjn would not get gifts until everyone else had. So then I decided, you know what? I'm going to wait for a specific day in the week. So I now wait till Sunday. Every Sunday, I will dish out the guild gifts. So everyone gets a gift, minimum. If I can give you more than that, then fantastic. It means we've done really well this week. But I understand people have real life. So this way, I found a way of keeping it fair. But I will make sure everyone has a gift of any of these events before I do. And if I do end up spending on some of these events, and that's pretty damn rare, to be honest... I will again be making sure more that it goes more towards my guild than myself. I know that might sound strange, but I have been on these games and long learnt that the real growth isn't in your personal growth, it's in the growth of your teammates. Your team is only as strong as your weakest player, so you want to be bolstering your weakest players. That does mean occasionally we've been taken advantage of by those that are looking for a free ride. And you know what? Yeah, it's part of the gameplay. Get over it. I've even heard about people that they're gold thieves, and I've worked out what they meant by that recently. And it's like, really? I mean, it means different things on different servers. In our server, it means that they've joined a gold team purely to grow their totems. People do that. We had silver thieves in this instance. And now look at some of you. You're in gold. You shouldn't be complaining. You should be helping. So, yeah. Oh, we can do that there. I'm not going to bother with the Titans. I'm just going to level that up. Occasionally I've had enough gold things to do something with it, but it's pretty rare these days. If I do leave the guild to grow as me personally, I will be switching over either to my alt account or giving it to Odjn. And I will jump over to one of my gold friends. But I can't really see that happening anytime soon. I'm not really interested at the moment. I'm more interested in my guildmates growing. So we do have, as I said, alliances with certain gold guilds, of which Ninja Warriors and Test of Souls are among them. And same vice versa. We'll take their weaker players who need silver, that someone else that needs gold can switch places. So basically we will also do place swaps. So if you've got too many people in your guild and you can't do anything, we will take your weakest player who needs silver. They can come hang out with us and do their dailies. And you can then take our player that needs the gold. And then we'll do a player swap again back. So we're not without planning, basically. We're not there to just steal gold. We're there to, you know, be decent enemies. Your best rivals. I mean, in the theology I grew up in, your best rival should also be your best friend. So you don't need to be enemies. Friends grow together so that you can, you know, it's basically so you've got a decent chess buddy. And I'm talking the game chess where you move knights and pawns around. So, you know, you should be able to be best friends. Now, there was another game that did bring out the worst, King of Avalon. You would make friends and then you would find out that they were the worst toxic trash the gaming community had to offer. I'm not going to sit and name them. They know who they are. I know some of them still watch me. No, I'm not returning to King of Avalon. I refuse. I don't care how much the game's changed. The community on that is trash. So, no, I'm not going back. You spent too much for too little. No. Anyway, I will hopefully see you on Wednesday, folks. Unless I need to do another impromptu stream to help you out with events or information. If you do need anything, you know, just drop a comment below or find me on Discord or DM me in game. Hopefully, you know, that event I've shown you today, as boring as it is, I can't get past 3 on this account. I can assure you on my other account I have. So, right, I will see you Wednesday. Have fun, folks, when I find the exits to streaming, as usual. Bye for now, folks.
The fires of 97 we were forged. 98 was ours, oh those were the days. We set sail digital seas full of the bold. With the spirit of old we rode our ways. Our runes silent now in battles old, but our saga still rings so clear and true. Adventure's new call to all the brave souls. Fun for all in our fellowship, join the crew. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game or feel the flame. Sons of fire and daughters of ice, in the longhouses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. The Lone Wolf Clan. Together we roam the vast digital land, our camaraderie on quest after quest. With pixels our allies and joysticks in hand, join us if you dare among the best. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game or feel the flame. Sons of fire and daughters of ice, in the longhouses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. Together we roam the vast digital land, our camaraderie on quest after quest. With pixels our allies and joysticks in hand, join us if you dare among the best. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game or feel the flame. Sons of fire and daughters of ice, in the longhouses of gaming, oh come share our name, the Lone Wolf Clan. join the crew. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game, oh feel the flame. Sons of fire and daughters